Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Cancer March 2022 forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, for those of you who are stopping by for the first time, and welcome if that's the case, and hi to the subscribers, always good to see you. Well, this deck is of a sub-Saharan African theme. The people in it are from the continent of Africa, and therefore are coloured. Now, I think that this is a good thing because it's very rare, isn't it, that we have the opportunity of seeing a deck exclusively devoted to people of colour. And of course, you know that my readings here are very inclusive. In fact, many of the clients that I have, and of course, if you want to have a personal reading from me, just check out the information below for a clairvoyant reading. Many of my clients from all around the world over FaceTime and Skype are people of colour. Now, we're going to take 5 cards. The artwork, incidentally, is beautiful. This arrived by FedEx at my place yesterday. I've meditated for a couple of hours over it, and it does the job. There is Young Blade. Now, you're going to really dig the artwork on this. It's something that is striking. And there is Little Blade. Now, there's no coincidence. Well, what I'll say is this, is that I can assure you that the deck has been very thoroughly shuffled all ways around, so there's a very good reason why those two come there together. They look like brother and sister to me. Now, let's have a look to see what there is in here. And this is Little Gourd. Now, gourd is what substitutes for cups, because as you know, people in tribal Africa in years gone by, you made heavy use of gourds for carrying and dispensing water and other liquids. So that's a cups card there, in the traditional sense, but I'll refer to it as gourds, of course, in the reading in conformity with the theme that we're establishing. And you as a water sign will be, there is the Moor. Now that is Major Arcana number 5. The Moor, of course, is from North Africa. The Moors were known to raid the Mediterranean shores and take slaves from Italy, France, England, and Spain, Greece, and other places around the region. Slavery, of course, was the way things were always done all over the world, sadly, for most of human history. That's recorded in any event, but probably, I think we can assume, before then as well. And finally, what do we have here? The Queen Mother. That is Major Arcana number 3. Why don't you come now? Sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the cards together while I do the reading for you. Okay, let's have a look at this and see where we are. And here is Cancer, Crab. There we go. Let's have a look. Now, we're going to speak first of this Queen Mother. This is an interesting looking painting, isn't it? Great original artwork from the artist, I'm sure you'll agree with me. Well, here we have the Queen Mother, a pillar of her kingdom. The earth is her throne and adornment. She is conscious of the ripple of creation from her womb to the seeds that birth new life in the lands. Now, at her crown, she is adorned with a, what do you call that, a precious stone or semi-precious stone? I think that's an aventurine, with a large aventurine stone, which brings the abundance, good fortune, and balance needed to rule her kingdom. So good fortune is coming your way, I'd say. Now, the Queen Mother is not only the partner to the chief, but also an advocate for her people. Actually, I know, because I have a number of clients in Ghana, in Africa, that today in Ghana, in West Africa alone, there exist over 10,000 Queen Mothers. In the Kingdom of Benin, the Queen Mother is essential to the well-being and protection of the Oba, the king, and by extension to the entire kingdom. Now, she nurtures and cultivates through outreach, as well as with educational, environmental, and health programs and organizations. On a national level, the Queen Mother is a strategist who campaigns for issues that affect those beyond the borders of her own community. Her message is, value yourself, value the life you have, seek things that are beautiful, free, and open, nurture those around you, and share the highest expression of love you have to offer. Now, nestled in this bosom is a great Venusian, Venus energy that becomes the source of all of your endeavors this month. Play, love, grow, and cultivate the best within yourself and the world around you. The lusciousness of your inner garden will pollinate others. This is the message of the Queen Mother. She truly is the daughter of the mighty ones. Now, what else she may have to say, I think, is that I'm getting the idea of pregnancy around here, being in touch with beauty in your life, maybe exploring relationships with your mother or acting as a mother figure to somebody else. I think you'll have an empathetic and caring personality during this time. And I think that this reminds you that spirituality is expressed from the heart and not from the head. And it's important to have a nurturing attitude towards others, but in particular to also have it towards yourself. There's a lot of feminine energy obviously around this. Now don't be afraid of that if you're a male, because we are a mixture of both male and female. It's just that the male predominates in men. And it's a very fertile card. There's pregnancy, fertility around here. That fertility can also extend to endeavors that you are pursuing. There could be art, it could be business, it could be sales, for example. This is allowing you to, I think now, fulfill your potential at this time. And there are, as I say, successful business opportunities afoot. Remember this always, though, that the beauty you see in others which attracts you to them is a beauty that you carry within yourself. You are in the process of unfolding and involving your beauty. Now, this could also be the right time to work through and clarify unresolved mother conflicts. I'll just make that as an aside. In your life, is there a beautiful, strong woman from whom you would like to learn? Visualize your ideal woman. Write down her most important qualities and try to find these in others and yourself. Surround yourself with beauty and abundance and say to yourself, I give and receive wisely. I realize that the capacity to receive is equally as powerful as the capacity to give. I value the healing power of beauty and harmony. I am filled with power and beauty. Now, there was another major arcana card around somewhere. Here it is. Am I right? Yes, the more. Okay, more. Let's have a look at you. Well, let's have a look at the painting and dissect it, shall we? What I'll say is that don't let the structures that you abide by lead to your downfall. There are laws beyond the ones you have established within yourself, and the universal spiritual laws that govern all. Now, the more spreads this wisdom and knowledge through teaching and mentoring, and I think that you could well be a mentor to somebody during this period. You'll be imparting knowledge to them. Now, there may be many paths to the same place, the infinite, and the more has learned which path best suits them and those who choose to follow. This more has spent a lifetime learning about the wonders of the world. Now, this is a devout person who is loyal to their higher belief systems that govern everyday life. The more is also well-versed in a variety of things. Sciences, spiritual systems, languages, different, interested in a whole lot of different things. It is the more who brings order to civilization, lest it wallows in the stench of its own filth. The more seeks to lift us out of our dark age into the light of new understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. But looking at some of the aspects here, at the crown sits a starfish over an orange and white spiral shell. Do you see that? With an amethyst and an opal adornment resting at the center. Now, the spiral is a universal symbol of consciousness, continuity, and cosmic force. The starfish heralds the energy of growth, regeneration, and healing. Starfish also bring to mind the saying, "As above, so below," as they are the stars of the sea, reflecting the stars of the sky. Now, the amethyst and opal adornment remind them all of the importance of spiritual consciousness, of balance, of intuition, and of protection of the self. The pendant at the chest, as you can see there, has an orange jade stones, I suppose, representing the energy of joy, interconnectedness of all beings, and enlightenment. Now, I really do have to say that I think that this is a time when you're actually going to be quite busy learning a number of different things. You could well be in the area of trade. You could be attending a night school. It could be at a college. I have to say I do get a feeling of just for the moment, the need to go along with rules and regulations and traditions in your life. It's not to say that you necessarily have to believe in them, although other people around you and important to you may do. Just for this month, don't rock the boat. Just go along with things in a good way. You see, this is Venus in Taurus with the moon exalted, and Taurus is earth, and it emphasizes the importance of applying your spiritual realizations in the day-to-day world, just as this guy does, I have to say. But you could well be a teacher or an advisor to someone. There's a group identity feeling I'm getting around here. And for those who are working in large organizations, it's going to be a very good time. Teaching and learning. Yeah, advice or even seeking advice is what I'm getting here. Just make sure there are no problems in the workplace that are stopping you from reaching your potential. And too much reliance on intellectual teachings may blot out your inner guide. So just make sure that even though this is a period of intense learning, that you don't lose touch with what's going on inside. Now, I want to have a look at this. Where are we? This little blade here. A little blade, a little gourd, and a young blade. Let's have a look at little blade first, shall we? What are you telling me? What do you have to tell me? Getting a feeling that this is a woman for some reason. Although, of course, in court cards, the genders can be either one. Now, little blade is a combination of earth and air, the seed of consciousness. Earth brings the intellectual energy of air down to earth and channels it into practical use. So you will be making things practical. You will be making your ideas tangible. It is the budding of new ideas and thought forms that's going on here. Little Blade also values justice and truth above all and will use her intellectual sword, blade, to cut through the clouds of emotions, bringing clarity to a situation. So I think that you will be able to be very, very good at handling controversies and of arranging resolution to disputes going on with other people in particular, but also maybe even in a dispute that you got going yourself with somebody. Now, air and earth combine powers like a windmill to create energy. Now, earth that she has here gives logic, a base and structure to operate from, so your ideas can be turned into something tangible. However, what is lacking at times is the connection to the emotional nature of existence that is more complex in understanding than Little Blade's practical mind is able to accept. That is why I say, and where we spoke of the more before, is to not to over-intellectualize things. I mean, you're pretty smart, but just make sure you do maintain that emotional connection to things that are going on around you. And perception, emotional perception. Because I think that what this person here, and this probably refers to somebody else in this context for these messages, and this might be someone that you know, is that this person needs to learn to be aware of their own emotional nature. Some decisions require us to follow our heart more than our head, really, don't they? And when the winds blow too intensely, they can kick up debris like a dust storm, creating a mental cloud that grows bigger as it travels into other areas. Now, this reduces the ability to communicate productively. And in addition, it stops the evolution of thought necessary for new perspectives to come forth. I'm just getting the idea around here too, is that there's somebody around you who may spread information regardless of how it impacts others, using their logic and rationale to find loopholes to get what they want. They can be very hypocritical themselves, and they can tie other people up in mental circles just to feel like they have the control in a relationship or in a situation. So just be aware of that during this month. Well, seems sensible, having looked at that blade there, to look at this blade, which is young blade. See the melanation in this card? I don't know if you can make that out under this light. Anyway, I appreciate it. The artists obviously, and the printers in particular, have done a good job with this. But let's have a look here and see what we have. By the way, the people who are interesting to you with respect to this, and one of those people who could be causing some issues or problems around you may well be, I'm just getting the idea here of, it could be an Aquarius, it could be a Capricorn, it could be a Pisces, so just be aware of that. Now here we have a young blade. Now this person here is actually very much Aquarius around here as well, I'm getting. So that Aquarius sign is important to you during this period. Young blade is the mercurial, the Mercury, air and power in motion. One of the strengths of an air personality is their calm, reflective and easygoing temperament. They have an ability to detach themselves from emotions and connections that, at the end of the day, don't serve what they believe to be true. The young blade, however, is the forceful aspect of wind that creates energy, storms, turbulence and erosion. There's no limit to the heights their mind is capable of reaching. Capricorn and Aquarius is very much what I'm getting around here. And there's no censorship of the new thoughts they wish to communicate. They just jump from one idea to the next idea, most of which, of course, are completely impractical. They are very good at coming up. They have a very keen mind, but the difficulty that they have is in making things happen, making things tangible. They are the inspired mind, the brainstorm in a literal sense. Now, air is one of the most ubiquitous and versatile elements on this planet, with the ability to make great use of every other element, for better or for worse. Now, in the same way, this guy, and I think it is a man, can create hurricanes on warm waters, or massive tornadoes that rip through the land, and fiery explosions that disintegrate everything within their radius. Yet, when this power is used cooperatively, new, wonderful discoveries and innovations are possible. Young Blade will cut through outmoded systems and ideas, I think, this guy, and usher in fresh concepts. And they can very much come off as being self-absorbed because they're so intently focused on self-discovery and refining their image and reaching the highest heights. What I have to say is their quick wit and clever minds make them more inclined towards hasty judgments, though, I have to say. Coming to a conclusion about a subject really without researching it properly or without other considerations. So they can be unreliable in a sense. But funnily enough, this person can be a good facilitator, jumping around one person to another, as they can get straight to the heart of a situation without any situation. I do get the feeling, though, there could well be someone, and this is tied up again in this idea here that was with this, what I think is this woman figure here, of someone who's going to indiscriminately blast through obstacles that stand in the way of their own goal, where they are number one. And their focus is on what the bottom line is for them, and any person or situation brought down in the process is to them just collateral damage. Now, often this impulsiveness can leave them with regret later on, as they must be held accountable for the debris which has been left in their wake. But at worst, they can be sociopathic and really lack compassion or conscience. Well, that takes us, I think, is it to the final? Have we done this? I don't think we have we? Did that. This is Little Gourd. Gourd, of course, being for a cup. Let's have a look. Beautiful artwork. Well, Little Gourd is earth and water, the seeds of emotions, really, the energy of new emotions, creativity, and life personified. This is someone, I think you will be quite playful, artistic, intuitive, and sensitive during this period. There is a high potential for you for the manifestation of unadulterated feelings and insights. Now, the massive energy of the Ace of Water combines with Earth to create the fertile sword that this woman has sprouted from. Now, subconscious yearnings and impulses and ideas are announcing a new phase or messages that need to come forth. So there's going to be information coming to you from a whole lot of different sources at the moment. And she is the substance of dreams, love, and idealism. This person here is gentle, compassionate, and detached from jealous and possessive emotion, and is courageous and free in all expressions of love, raw creative force, and deep wisdom. Now, I'm just looking to see what's on her head here. She's got a silky blue scarf adorned with beads and a sort of what would you call that? Maybe like a passport, gold weight mask in the center. Yeah. Used, I assume, by people in years gone by. She is, in a sense, for me, the princess of the palace of the floods. Now, I think that associated with you in a good way are going to be Scorpio, Libra, and Sagittarius during this person. This speaks to me that you are going to be perceived by other people as being very gracious, maybe voluptuous, or in good physical form if a man. Certainly sweet, gentle, kind, maybe romantic and dreamy. Do you know, the princess represents, as I was saying, the earthly part of water, and in particular the faculty of crystallization. She represents the power of water to give substance to idea, to support life, and to form the basis of chemical combinations. Now, her character is infinitely gracious, sweetness, voluptuousness, gentleness, kindness, tenderness. But she can, in a sense, live in a world of romance and in the perpetual dream of rapture. Now, superficially, some people might think that she's selfish and lazy, but this is actually a false impression because she goes about her work really silently. Now, the people also that could well be considered to be of such a case would include Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra. Yeah, they're really the people that are coming around to you. It's important, I think, that you keep your feet on the ground during this time and that you don't get caught up in your dreams and fantasies, but you remain engaged in life. Because in a sense, she does live in a world of romance, and you may find that you are dependent on others during this time. That's okay, because you give a lot in return, and you have always given so much of yourself, and it's completely okay to receive. Trust your feelings and perceptions at this time, because you are definitely on the right path. Now, is there anything preventing you from being fully free? You now have the opportunity to let go of it as well. Imagine that you are surrounded by water and are dancing the dance of salvation and freedom with light flowing movements. And say to yourself, the more I love myself, the more I can share with others. Well, that is the way it is for you this month. Did you like that? I certainly enjoyed providing it to you, and thank you very much for joining me for your March 2022 reading. Now, if you did enjoy it on the way out, please do me the favor of smashing the like button. It's good for the YouTube thing, the software algorithm that allows more people to see the readings. But in the meantime, I want you to remember one thing, though, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.